This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio. PHLV Radio.
Here's another Facebook Live event from PHLV Radio.
Hello, good evening. It's Friday night here in the Pacific or in California. If you're watching from here, good evening. Magandang gabi sa inyong lahat. And if you're watching us from the Philippines, it is a beautiful Saturday. And I believe it's 1 o'clock or 1:02 p.m. in the afternoon. So good afternoon. It's hopefully you're having a wonderful day on a Saturday. And if you're watching us in different parts of the world, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. So this is going to be an exciting show. I know a lot of you have been waiting for our guest for today. But before anything else, just to let everybody know, we're live. Live na live tayo. We're live simultaneously broadcasting on PHLV Radio Facebook page, as well as simultaneously broadcasting on PHLV Radio YouTube channel. So if you are not a subscriber yet, what are you waiting for? So you won't miss any of the shows, including all my shows. So all you have to do is like, share, and subscribe. Now, also, if you are using Amazon Fire TV, all you have to do is look for PHLV Radio channel. And if you have that gadget, the Alexa, all you have to do is say, Alexa, play PHLV Radio. And those people who are not able to watch us right now, we're also streaming audio streaming live on different podcasts, namely Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. And like always, if you miss any part of the show, or you want to review, or you want to replay the show, especially for our team replay, no problem whatsoever. You could always go back to our YouTube channel of PHLV Radio. There's already a playlist that you could review or watch or re-watch all the past shows, as well as including the shows. This is an exciting. I am so honored that our guest for today gave us some time, and this is really for all the Filipinos abroad, especially the heroes of the world, of the new generation. We will definitely pick his brain on this wonderful company that he is a CEO and founder, and none other than BayaniPay. I know a lot of you had heard of this BayaniPay. If you've been to Seafood City, you would have seen the kiosk there. It's a makeshift kiosks, and a lot of you had been asking and not too familiar. You guys had texted me, PM me, and asked what BayaniPay is about. This is exciting time. So without much further ado, let me introduce to you the founder and the CEO of BayaniPay, none other than Winston Damarillo or Damarillo. Okay. Winston, good evening. You are in Manila.
Good evening and good afternoon from Manila. So great to be here. Thank you for having me, Josh. Excited to talk about BayaniPay.
Yes. And before anything else, are you ready to show? Because any of the video will show walang alam si Winston. Walang alam si Winston. So can we put now the one of the video on what this BayaniPay is about? We have a video kasi that we got from different sources. And this, yeah. It's the other video where where Winston was talking.
Ooh,
Yeah, live kasi tayo. Then this is the beautiful thing about live. It's like live TV. So you'll see the video. This is cool. Oh, and sorry for the delay, by the way. I know a lot of you were texting me already if we're going on with the show. Yes, there was a power outage in Las Vegas. So we are broadcasting using a generator from the main station in Las Vegas. As always, I'm here in Los Angeles, which is my home base. So are we ready? So we're setting up the video. Hinahanap pa.
No worries.
Anyway, while he's looking for that. Okay, this BayaniPay, it started in November of 2021. It's less than a year, right?
Yeah, it's I think it's about almost 2 years actually. So we launched the product. We tested it in November, late November 2021, and then we officially launched it this year around March and April. So it is pretty young, or last year pala in March April. So it's pretty young. It's just a little over a year as a product and
Wow.
a service. And we're just excited. Ang ganda ng response ng ating mga kababayan, and
Well,
been doing well.
well, one of the things before we delved into the product itself, because I know a lot of our people would like to know more about you. I know you were born in Bohol. Am I
Yeah.
correct? And then, of course, so how was that? How was growing? What? Give us a little background on Winston, because they when all the interviews on the write up never talk about your childhood. Are you from a big family? I know you were educated. You're a Green Archer or De La Salle University, and it's a mechanical or industrial and mechanical engineering. Am I correct?
Yeah, so well, first of all, I'm Bisaya. So mayong udto and mayong gabi kanyang tanan sa mga Bisaya dyan. So I grew up in Bohol. I was born in Bohol and grew up in Cagayan de Oro. So I'm from the province. Grew up from a Chinese family, so very large family. I know our lunch times. I think there's 64 cousins, and so we have 12 shifts during lunch now. So, provinciano. So I grew up in Bohol and then Cagayan de Oro, and then obviously for college I went here to Manila in at La Salle, and then right after college, and then I moved to the U.S. to start my career there as. I graduated industrial engineering, but my career has always been in computers and technology and software. So I grew up in the Philippines, but essentially worked in the U.S. So this product we're building, BayaniPay, is a product I wish I had. When I arrived here in the U.S. When I was 19. So that's kind of the background of myself. I self-taught the computer science part of my skills, but I was very fortunate to work at Intel Corporation, starting out as an engineer, and then right before I left Intel, I was in venture capital. So we were really in that parang background of building innovative startups sa Intel, and I decided in year 2000 that I'll start building my own companies.
And the funny thing is, like some of the write-ups that were written on you, they mention you are a serial entrepreneur, and normally that's why it's a good to discuss, because normally serial would have a bad connotation, but in your case, it's amazing on what you have accomplished. This is BayaniPay, to my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's your ninth startup.
Yeah. So, if entrepreneurship, in my opinion, is addicting. Once you build a company, and so we were very lucky. One of my first startup, a company called Glucode, and we built that actually initially only in Los Angeles, and then we realized that it's better to combine the talent and skills of our Filipino software developers here in the Philippines with the opportunity and innovation in California. So it's kind of a hybrid company from who's building it. We built that in LA. And we were very fortunate. That was one of the startups that I built was acquired by IBM in 2005.
Most of your startups, you put it together and you sell them
Yeah.
off, right? Which is amazing. Imagine, pang night na to, na startups that you have done
Yeah.
successfully at that. And most of them, you were able to sell them off as well.
Yeah. Some of them work, some of them don't work. It's part of the game. But the journey, right? When you invite your co-founders, when you discover a market you want to disrupt, when you build the first technology, and when people start using it, like just in Bayani na, in just less than a year of really going to market, we have nearly 10,000 customers na. Parang it feels really good na parang idea lang yan sa papel, and then it kind of came to fruition. And more importantly, like in BayaniPay, nakakatulong, right? We're reducing the cost of sending money home. So this is why I do what I do. You know, it's addicting to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah,
The ups and
just
downs is something that, you know,
yeah, with
it's
all
part
the
of life.
interviews and write-ups that were done on you, it's so exciting. Just reading through your bios and all that. There's it's an exciting life, I think.
Uh, it's challenging life. I think it's fulfilling. I like being an entrepreneur. I like the journey with my my co-founders, mga team namin sa BayaniPay and sa Talino. It's an interesting parang travel, parang journey namin, is really parang it's creative, it's innovative, it's risky. So hindi talaga siya boring.
I
But it's fun.
I could imagine, Winston. Like before we continue, we have several people that we need and watching. Those people who are watching right now live, hello, happy viewing to you. And then we have Juliet Marcus is watching from Laguna. We have ZA Zamesa watching from Cebu. Hello po. Now, Yo, are we ready with the video on why BayaniPay? Yeah, we are. Okay, a lot of you are asking us earlier why BayaniPay, and of course the video would tell you, and of course we will kind of pick the brain of Winston on the idea behind the name. So let's play the video on that.
The word Bayani means hero in Filipino. And we chose the word because global professionals that continue to support their friends and family home are considered economic heroes. It's ingrained in our product design. You're caring for the Bayanis, right? People that have left the countries and working really hard. We wanted to make sure that we serve as a significant portion of the 500 million people that currently are global professionals. And we want to make sure that people are no longer bound by jurisdiction in terms of their banking and financial services platform.
Okay. Well, that's the reason why a lot of people have been asking why BayaniPay, and of course the video would say that because Bayani is really a Tagalog word for heroes, and as we all know, all Filipinos abroad, we are the modern day heroes. And then in one of the thing, and so who coined that word? Who gave that idea? Was it yours or what is part of your team, Winston?
I think collectively, when we were thinking about what to name the company, we thought of flashy fintech startup names, yung mga like Chime or Monzo or Revolut, diba? And then we started thinking na if you're building a fintech company and you're building a bank, for a specific group of people, we wanted to reflect how we feel about them and how we want to build the product. So Bayani very quickly came to mind because it's OFWs and not just that, migrant Filipino has really been kind of the lifeblood of the Philippines now. We do contribute a significant amount of economic base to our country. And beyond that, it's also that, it's ingrained in the Filipinos yata, I want to send money home, I want to help my parents, I want to eventually retire. And so all of that was built on the backs of really hard work. Alam mo, really hardworking Filipinos that, it's reflected in, our nurses, our construction workers, and, our F&B foreign workers na talagang, all that work, we want to make sure that we treat them like Bayani, and we actually picked the color purple because we want to also, treat them like royalty. Sila yung hari ng produkto, no? So we want to build that. And so it just worked really well. People reacted to it really well. And then also it was distinctively and clearly a Filipino product. So BayaniPay only services Filipino, unlike all the other remittance companies out there. And therefore, nung pinangalanan namin siya ng Bayani, people can easily relate na, para sa atin to.
And it was so true, like what you said, because you cannot go more than Filipino than Bayani. And we are all Bayani, especially whether you're OFW or migrants, anybody who left the country. There's always this, it's ingrained in our culture, diba, na talagang magpapadala ka. In the olden days, if I would say 10 years ago, it's always the balikbayan boxes. And
Yeah.
then, of course, with the change of economy and all that and technology, then naging mas ano na, to send money na lang. It would be easier to send money because sila na lang mamili ron because everything gets higher and mahirap na, di ba? Tagal-tagal pag nagbabalik-bayan box and all that. With the money, it's immediate ang purpose at ang usage. Mhm.
Yeah, instant gratification.
Correct. Now, you done so many startups. I would like to know what was the idea that came to you that instead of putting another business together, it became the remittance sector that you dealt with. Why of all the other things you could do, nakita mo what was going through your mind na among the things na pwede ka magawa ng startup company for your ninth time, it became a remittance company.
Yeah, we've been building a lot of technology companies, and because I'm a geek, no, I'm a technologist. I like building startups. So yung first three startups were built in open source because we wanted software to become cheaper and more affordable. So that kind of was the first parang three companies that I built. The second was all about cloud computing because we want to democratize the ability to innovate, and cloud computing was a really good power and capability to do that. And then these newest companies that I've been building, they're all in financial services, mga fintech sila. And that was rooted by the initiative I took now when I went back to the Philippines after a few startups were built, that we realized that financial inclusion is very important, right? That whether whoever you are, parang it's human right to have access to banking, to have access to credit, and to have access to be able to participate in the economy. Kaya nung nagka-pandemic, actually, when I went back to the US, with all the backgrounds na we've been building technologies for banking, I noticed na of all these years, 2020 na, people are still not, using technology extensively para mapamura yung pagpadala ng pera sa back home, right?
Yes.
And when I consulted my partners, BDO, Seafood City, parang we were like wondering na, how come there's no Filipino brand focused on serving the Filipino market in this American-Philippine corridor? So that was the genesis of that. And then when I did my research, I noticed na mahal pa rin magpadala. It's about 6.5% friction. But, and that's a lot. Kung pinaghirapan mo yung pera mo and 6.5% goes away, it's a lot of money. And so we wanted to evaluate paano ba natin ito mapamura. And so that was the genesis of it. When I looked around, the nice thing about the United States is we're very advanced in our banking technology. We have open banking, we have biometric, know your customer or KYC technology. Our banks in the US are very friendly to partnering with new startups like East West Bank that we parang felt like kaya natin to. We can still participate in this market. And not only participate, but we want to disrupt. Kaya nauso yung, nadala namin yung idea na pamurahin natin yung pagpadala. And the two ways to do that is, number one, walang fees. And number two, as high a forex rate as we can provide in partnership naman with BDO. So the opportunity was there. And then after that, naalala ko, when I was in my first year in America, sana may ganito, di ba? Sana may BayaniPay, because it made it really, really easy for people to send money home, save money on sending that home. And BayaniPay's vision is really not just remittance, but it's really intended to become a bank for migrant Filipinos. So, kung ano man yung pangangailangan mo, you also need to open a bank account. You also want to have credit. You might also want to have parang rewards when you use it at Seafood City and all the other stores. And you want to be able to pay directly the businesses in the Philippines. So, the vision of BayaniPay starts with remittance because that's the obvious one. Pero malaki pa yan. We're really thinking about building a bank just for Filipinos in America.
That's amazing. Now, before we continue, let's do a shout out. Louis Roa, he said, Louis Roa is watching from Portland, Oregon. Louis, this is something you need to listen to. Kailangan natin to for our remittances. Sabi niya, hello Kuya Josh and Winston. Alexander Francisco is watching from, I think, Quezon City. And then, oh, your dad is watching. Randolph Mason D. Sabi niya, here with Winston's proud dad, watching from Dipolog.
Hey Dad, how are you? Musta? I hope that I know it's raining hard in Dipolog, no? So I hope the flooding has abated. People can get out of.
Grabe. I have friends in Calibo and there have been rain too. Now, so like what you said, with BayaniPay, it was conceptualized at first talagang remittance. Well, one of the things too that we were talking offline earlier before we start with our show, BayaniPay, just for clarification, hindi pa siya nationwide, right? Meaning it's not available in the 50 states. However, let's talk about it. It's available now in California, the whole state of California, in Hawaii, in New Jersey, as well in Alaska. So right now, as we speak, this very moment, 4 states pa lang, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. Now, is that part of your vision and plan, like in the next maybe couple of months, that it will be nationwide within the...
Yeah, our goal is to have national coverage. Alam mo naman sa America, the licensing is state by state.
Yes.
So we wanted to catch the low-hanging fruit, no? So kalahati ng aming market, kalahati ng ating market sa BayaniPay is really in California to begin with. So we started in the most dense areas in California. And like I said, we're getting nearly 10,000 customers in the first year just in California. So we're now ready to expand. Hawaii is the next place that we're excited about kasi parang underserved tayo sa Hawaii.
Yes.
And obviously New Jersey after Hawaii. And then so kami naman, we really wanted to make sure na pulido ba yung services namin. So we wanted to start and excel in the states that we're in and then expand gradually to all the other territories. So stay tuned. Within the year, we'll be expanding to most of the states now in the
Well,
US.
we can't wait. We're looking forward to that because when we announced that you're going to be guesting and that it's about remittance, I've been hit. Like, are they available? So many states. And I said, 4 states pa lang, but it's forthcoming for sure. And I'll definitely ask Winston. One of the beautiful feature talaga ng BayaniPay that any Filipino should know, it's a 0 transaction fee. So now, Winston, ibig sabihin, walang transaction fee and we're so used to that kasi like ako, I public would say, and I've been using Zoom.com to send money from say 100 kasi it's a multiple of hundreds You cannot go $50. So every 100 up to 1,000, I'm charged $7.50. And then for the next 2,000, it's double that. So like $14.50 or $14. So the more you send, the higher the transaction fee. Yung BayaniPay, for all those watching and listening, ito po yung isa na pinakamagandang feature na talagang kailangan malaman lahat ng bawat Filipino na migrants na ito ay 0 transaction fee. Ibig sabihin, kung pinadala mo $100, 100 din yung katumbas nun, meaning yung conversion nun. Which, now, Winston, I'm gonna pick again your brain. How were you able to do that? Kasi yun ang tanong nila, oops, too good to be true, no transaction fee. Paano sila kumikita? So sabi ko, I know the answer, but I let Winston, CEO, tell you the answer.
Yeah. It's not charity, obviously, right? So we do make money. Ako lang, I wanted to make sure na people are not baited and switched. No? Sometimes kasi, mga kababayan natin, nakikita mo mataas yung exchange rate, pero may tatamaan ka naman ng fees, right? So we wanted to say, hey, why don't, if you compare which is the best value for you as a remittance company, dapat isa lang, apples to apples lang, di ba? So what we wanted to do is to first be market leader in Forex, so foreign exchange. So if you look at the foreign exchange of BayaniPay and you compare it to Zoom and Remitly, we're better. But in addition to that, wala kaming fees. So we're definitely better because of that. So how are we able to achieve this? There's really 2 ways. Unang-una, we do make money and it's in what's called the Forex spread, foreign exchange spread. Ibig sabihin, yan yung gap ng kung ano yung binabayad namin sa banko, like BDO, kung ano man yung foreign exchange nila, and the one we charge our customers. So to be super transparent, it's somewhere between 1 and 2%. That's what we make. And then on the other side of it, we ask our customers to use bank linking. Bank linking is really important. First and foremost, it is the safest way to pay. Kasi you put your username and password, then an OTP before your money is extracted from your bank. So it's a very safe way to pay. Number two is the cheapest way to pay. Kaya hindi namin tinatanggap yung debit card or credit card. So I don't have to pay tax to MasterCard and Visa, right?
Correct.
I'd rather save you the money. So because we're able to do that, then we can pass the savings to our mga kababayan. So we are a enterprise that's looking for profit. We make money in the one area, which is the spread of the foreign exchange. We're keeping ourselves honest because kahit na doon kami kumikita, we're still better than our competitors, di ba? So really, parang and the nice thing about making money in that place, kasi the more the volume goes up, the more money we make. So may motivation talaga kami to provide extremely good service to our customers. Fees to me are parang tax. Why do you have to have fees? If you're already making money somewhere else. So we just decided to do it that way. We're growing quite a bit. Our forecast, we hope in a year or two we're profitable na. But maintaining this idea na we are encouraging to use bank linking, no debit cards, no credit cards, and at the same time, no fees for our customers.
See, para klaro lang, kasi just for everybody, even yung kasing sinabi ni Winston na the forex spread, embedded na naman talaga yan kahit iba yung gamitin nyo eh. Talagang may difference aga. Ang maganda lang sa kanila, one, lahat naman ng remittance company may kumikita talaga sa forex spread. Plus, may fee. Ito sa kanila, forex spread lang. At the same time, zero fee. So pag kinumpare mo, for example, yung isa giving you up for your dollar, it's 53 pesos ang conversion rate. Yung sa kanila naman, kunyari, 53 pesos din. Pero may like what I did, Zoom. Okay, right now, Zoom is 52.66. Mababa pa compared sa kanila, sa BayaniPay. Tapos magbabayad pa ako ng $7.50 for every 1,000. Tapos ano yun, tumataas. So imagine you already being dinged on the transaction fee plus the exchange rate. While as with the BayaniPay, kunyari, dumating yung time na medyo mababa, mas mababa yung kanila, i-add mo yung savings mo doon sa fee, panalo ka pa rin. You still be ahead on the dollar. So, madaling intindihin. So, that's why, not to sound paulit-ulit, but you're better off with BayaniPay. On top of that, this is run by Filipinos. At ito po ay sariling atin. So, di ba, we have that proud to be Pinoy. So, and they're very, very honest. Okay, now, ang maganda rin, BayaniPay partnered with reputable company. Ang ganda ng partnership nila. And that is BDO or Banco de Oro, which is, if you've been to the Philippines lately, in every corner yata, in the street, may tatlo or apat na BDO in every three or four corners. Like in Katipunan Street alone, that by Ateneo, tatlo agad ang BDO doon. Parang one after the other, meron siyang BDO. Secondly, here in the States, correct me if I'm wrong, you're partner with East West Bank, which is the largest Asian American bank to reckon with. Tapos you're partner also with Asian Journal, which is one of the largest newspaper outlets here in California or in the States. And so how was that partnership?
Yeah.
And of course, how can I forget Seafood City? Seafood City, they have like gazillion of branches now. Not only in California, they also have not only the States, technically, they also have two branches now in Canada. And kudos to Kaloy Ghost Group. Congratulations. Yeah. And this is a good tie-up. So what made you decide to tie up with this? Was this it was this just by chance, or talagang you really went to the marketplace and selected the creme de la creme, the best of the best?
Well, that was my goal, and sinuswerte lang tayo na yung the best of the best responded and partnered with us, no? So, sa simula naman, maganda na talaga yung relationship ko with the C family and BDO. So, I've been working with them on projects, no, several projects. Kaya nung naisip natin na gawin ng BayaniPay, I wanted to make sure we're a newcomer, diba? And we're handling money for people. We want them to feel that their money is safe and secure and it's going in the right place. So ang ginawa natin is I called BDO. Sabi ko, baka naman ma'am, pwede niyo kaming tulungan to build this vision ba of serving the Filipino and managing the Filipino finance by Filipinos also. So they were really excited. So my BDO was first in line saying, "Oh, sige, whatever you need, we'll help you out." And then I called my friends, si Cora and Roger Oriel sa Asian Journal, said, "Hey, we have BDO. Who do you think are the best partners naman in the United States that we can work together?" So obviously Asian Journal, they understood it right away and they were really excited. So nag-partner kami ni Roger and Cora to build it. And then we engaged and invited Seafood City to join the partnership. And then after that, when kasi when we're thinking about sending money, dalawang bangko yan, di ba? One from the States and one from the Philippines. Yes. So with that thinking, sabi ko, well, who's the biggest Asian American bank? And it turns out na nasa LA sila, and this is East West Bank. So we approached them with the idea na how about we build a financial corridor between the Philippines and the United States and let's serve the Filipinos, no? So alam mo, tayo medyo humble tayo, hindi natin masyadong sinasabi to, but the 4.2 million Filipinos in the United States were one of the highest earning households,
yes,
in the United States, di ba? So yung sipag at tiyaga ng mga Pilipino translated to we're a big economic power here. So hindi lamang na, tinitignan natin ng anong opportunity for remittance, but really, what is the opportunity to serve the Filipino from a banking standpoint? Kaya yun yung nangyari, di ba? So now we're able to also open you an East-West digital bank account using BayaniPay and to get that Visa debit card from East-West Bank na ma-offer mo. And then all this, the sum total of these partnerships, no, is napapamura natin yung padala because we're getting the wholesale rates of BDO. Napapaniguro natin yung pera na pinadala because it's from one bank to the other, so you don't really have to think and worry about it. At napapadali natin yung pagpadala, right? Because hindi na siya mag-hop from one intermediary, one middleman to another. It's from one bank to another bank. So all the benefits na hinahanap ng mga remitters natin, nandiyan. And obviously the reputation and the track record and the brands are also there. So it helps a new startup like BayaniPay. Bata pa kami, right? So only about a year old in the market, slightly under 2 years old in existence. So the only way for us to really get the fast start that we're getting is to partner with the big brothers. And we were very fortunate on that.
And those are great steps, really, because these are reputable companies in the Filipino-American communities. Now, Marco Antonio Zamesa is watching from Talisay, Cebu. Hi, Marco. Maayong buntag, maayong gabi. Cha Marcos is watching also from the Philippines. Hi, Cha. Now, one of the things that we need to clear, because a lot of times you mentioned about banking, di ba, BayaniPay is not a bank, right? Let's clear that up. So anything that has to do with your banking feature for BayaniPay is coursed through East West Bank, right?
That's correct. And both sides. So kami yung tinatawag nilang neobank, right? It's a software company that sits on top of a bank that can provide a banking service. So when you sign up to Bayani here in the US, in California, for instance, you open an account, hindi lamang remittance to the Philippines, but it's a full-fledged bank account, meaning you open a easy checking bank account here in the US. And with that, you get the full service of like having a debit card, be able to have deposit, to have what's called insured
FDIC
bank,
insured, yeah.
FDIC insured bank account. And kagandahan pa niyan, it's not pure digital. It's digital and branch. So kung kailangan mo ng tulong, you can still go to the branch of East
Yeah,
West Bank
for personal servicing, yes.
for personal servicing. Or kung gusto mo iabot yung pera mo in cash, pwede rin, di ba?
To make a deposit.
To make a deposit or to make a deposit for the purpose of sending money home. So I think that's parang a good combination na you get all the benefits of a digital bank and all the benefits of a physical bank at the same time.
And let's not forget it. It's zero fee, banking fee. Walang minimum requirement.
No opening, no maintaining.
Yeah,
also.
that's one of the things. Again, those are listeners and especially the team replay. This is one of those checking account na no minimum requirement and no fees. Kasi normally, like I'll mention Bank of America, Chase, and all the other banks, they charge you, if you don't maintain a minimum balance of a certain amount, you're charged at least a monthly fee, service fee of $12 at the minimum, like regularly. Pero ang East West Bank or yung through BayaniPay, zero maintenance fee, which is nice.
Yeah. Yeah, as you can see by now, parang allergic kami sa mga fees.
I noticed that.
And we really wanted to make sure that we can offer digital services na, we make money when you transact. So we hope that you would, open a bank account, send money home, use your debit card, use your credit card.
Yeah, I think one of the things too that needs to be advertised more is the digital checking, especially now that with what happened in the past 2 years. We're very cost sensitive. Yung $12 yan, multiplied in 10 months, that's $120. Diba? Parang, and sometimes talagang, especially with what's happening now, especially in America as well, ang hirap minsan, majority of us, ang hirap mag-maintain ng minimum balance. Pakita mo lang, that $12, ang bili na rin niya ng something in the grocery stores. Diba? So, to know that was one of the things when I was studying BayaniPay, your website and other things, sabi ko, hindi alam yan ng tao na talagang, on top of that, kasi a lot of times when you go digital, you are not allowed to go, and there's some banks that I know for a fact, you're not allowed to go inside the branch. If you go inside the branch, they'll charge you. There's additional fee for that. But you just mentioned this one, you have the faculty of being able to do it digitally. At the same time, you could be branch service, and that's no charge. Alam mo naman, like you said, allergic din tayo sa mga charges.
Yeah, I think so. Especially now, talagang every single thing helps, and reducing the cost of day-to-day living, the pandemic followed by the recession. I think nagiging mas conscious yung mga kababayan natin. So it's really important for us to respond to that again. And the uniqueness about BayaniPay, isang market ng binabantayan namin, Filipino-American lang. Right? We don't serve India, the India corridor yet. We don't serve any other, Latin American markets. So if you look at BayaniPay, specialist talaga. It's just for the Filipino-American.
Now, knowing that, will that change though eventually once you gain so much of your subscription? Will that change? And is that on your pipeline? Eventually, you'll open up to different ethnicity, multicultural group, or this will stay?
I think so. I think it's natural naman for us to grow that way. Basically, hindi kami aalis sa Filipino market hanggang hindi namin na perfect yung product for the Filipino market. Diba? So, we are the third or fourth largest, remitters in the world, diba? So, parang there's really no reason for me on the short term to think about anybody else, diba? If we just do our job to service just the Filipino market, we were gonna be a very profitable company. So we're happy with that now. But obviously, growth is something that's important. So way down the road, we'll probably serve other ethnicities. Pero gagayahin natin yung idea na you serve an ethnicity as if you're just serving them. Kasi sa financial services, importante yung parang tailored service. Parang you feel like para sa'yo lang yung gawa. That's one. The second is, gusto rin natin iparamdam yung customer service strengths ng Pilipino. Magaling talaga eh. So if you apply the Filipino touch in servicing people, yun din naman yung parang ipapabahagi natin sa ibang clients later on na it's built by Filipinos and delivered by Filipinos.
At ako, ano na yung mga PM messages ko, questions. Okay, now, let's work with that. Okay, once you sign up with BayaniPay.com, okay, there's some questions. Assuming, we'll go to that later, but assuming you already have BayaniPay, okay, and you send money, they're asking, as an individual, to my understanding, there's a limit. There's a minimum, just like any other remittances. Hindi po pwedeng magpadala ng mga $50 or $150. Is that the same with you? Kailangan multiple of 100?
No naman. I think for us, we have a minimum of $100. And that's because we have the zero fees, right? So we have a minimum of $100. From there on, then, kahit anong denomination na yan, 101, 102, 105, it's fine.
See, that needs to be announced too, because with Zoom, kasi product kasi ako ng Zoom eh, hindi pwedeng tingi. It has to be 100, 200, 300. Now minsan, like if I'm sending tuition to students, kunyari, kailangan ko lang 2,500 pesos, kailangan sosobrahan ko kasi kailangan multiple of 100. So this is one feature na maganda na sa inyo pwedeng tingi. Pwedeng 110, parang 101. On top of that, it's zero fees. Again, tingin na, pwede pang zero fees. Now, other question that been asked, like, would BayaniPay allow to send dollar for dollar? Is that available right now?
So right now it's available
for individual.
For our business customers, we have dollar to dollar. For individual, hindi pa namin, offer. No? Although we can do it. Because we do it for our business to business. I'll check my team kung kailan namin ilalagay siya sa roadmap, but we're capable to do it. We just haven't offered it yet.
Yeah. Now, also, follow-up question on that. Do you need to open a BDO account, or you could send it? Because I know, I'm using some of my experiences with remittances. It's either you send it bank to bank, or you could send it cash pick up. Right?
Yeah.
So in this case, you cannot go wrong with SM. There's everybody, anywhere in the nicks and cranny of the Philippines, there's SM.
Yeah. So we picked video because of their extensive network for you to get your money out, diba? Yeah. So it's available there. Any banks or any of the cash pickup that's near your home, we can service that. We obviously encourage you to open a video Kabayan bank account. Because that is the fastest way to receive it. And also with the Kabayan bank account, maraming mga offers and benefits si BDO naman for specifically, Kabayan account specifically for those recipients of remittances from our international global Filipinos. No? So that's the fastest way to do it. Although, the options and dami all over the place. And it's available 24/7, diba? And
yes,
all around. So it's there.
Okay, with the Kabayan, and this is my experience, it's so easy to open. If you're in the Philippines, you can always open a Kabayan. Yun nga lang, ang major trick doon, if you're opening, you have to have a dual, or hindi pwedeng US citizen ka. You have to have either a TIN number or a Filipino dual citizenship if you're a foreigner. Kasi nga, that's Kabayan is really for migrants and OFW. The good thing, and this is from my own experience, if you send from I keep saying BayaniPay, BayaniPay, pwedeng diretso na yun sa BDO peso account mo. Hindi na siya gumagawa ng loop. Kasi I was discussing with Winston earlier, when I used the Zoom, for example, I send $1,000, I got charged $7.50. It goes to, say, a dollar account sa BDO, then i-convert pa yon to pay something if I want it in Philippine peso. So naglo-loop pa siya, especially if I'm not with BDO, I'm with BPI, which I used to in the past. So pag pinadala ko sa BPI, i-convert pa yon. There's so many. Tapos ganun din mangyayari. They will use the conversion of the forex rate or rate ng bangko at the time na na-receive nila. So, alam mo, it gets convoluted. So, I think the best way talaga, if you can, is open a BDO account. The kabayan. Kasi nga, ang dami niya talagang benefits. And you could easy, walang maintaining balance. I think parang wala eh. The way I remember, I think it was 500 pesos. Parang gano'n. Parang I'm not sure. I have to check that and get back to you in the next show. Go ahead. Yun ang experience ko.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's 500. I'll double check with you as well, but I think that's it is. In addition nga sa mga benefits ng Kabayan Bank account, it's largely available.
Now, let's talk about limit kasi yan ang nagiging problema rin ng mga remittances eh. Yung iba kasi they're limited to 2,000 per transaction. Okay, so that's one. Even with when I was new with one other remittance company, ang limit ko when I was starting with them was 2,000. Na-increase na lang yan kasi they will ask you for your bank statements, you know, some part of the KYC, which is know your customer. Satisfy that either with Western Union, MoneyGram, Zoom. Nawawala yung limit, yung parang cap nila. Okay, now question for you, Winston. For BayaniPay, as an individual, may cap ba? Because your website says 1,999 yung maximum per transaction.
Yeah, so to be honest, wala naman siyang cap, no? But you have para bang a threshold na pag lumagpas ka doon, you have to document a little bit more, di ba? So I think it's part of the Anti-Money Laundering Act provision here in the US na para bang we watch for those bad actors, and one way to do that is to provide a threshold by which people need to provide more documentation. So sa BayaniPay, it's 1,999 or a dollar under 2,000 US dollars for us to ask for additional information. Ngayon, kung nagbabayad ka ng condo or business to business ka, you definitely need a limit far beyond 2,000, and we support that. Meron lang siyang additional documentation, but we were able to do that. Yun nga, there's a way for Bayan, tawagan mo lang yung support namin, and if you need a requirement that requires you to send money more than the default threshold, natutulungan din namin mga kababayan for that.
And one of the things too that I need to set it on air and publicly, your customer service is one of the best.
Thank you.
And kudos to them. I know they're based in the Philippines. I talked to them personally because some of the people that I referred to had some problems. One, may mga kababayan talaga tayo. They're not tech na savvy. Hindi sila talaga, especially our mature people. So talagang guidance on how to log in and all that. This is one of my experience kasi I was on the phone on the other line. Ang talaga sila, very, very, very polite, very courteous, and they really, really are very patient, walking them through, signing them up. And then there's one client naman na nagkaroon talaga ng problema, meaning nagpadala siya doon, akala niya nag-go through na, yung pala hindi pa niya na-post yung send. So your customer service was able to talagang tingnan kung saan nagkamali, and then to revisit, which whoever you have as a customer service provider there, keep them. They're very, very good. Hindi lang isang tao, and it's just not one experience that I had with them. Not me personally, but I was always on the line, especially when I refer them. Tapos sabi niya, Josh, nagka-problema kami, ganyan. Sabi ko, tawagan yung customer service. And then they're open 24/7. Kasi sometimes 2 a.m., tumatawag yung customer service and they will not let out. Kunyari, natapos na yung transaction, tatawag pa sila to double check kung everything is okay. So it's wonderful, and I have to say that publicly. So you guys, especially, di ba, most of us na gumagamit ng ibang remittances company, pag nagkaroon ng problema, na-stress ka na, you don't know who to call, eto na, hindi mo alam your money, kung saan napunta, it's floating somewhere, nakuha ba ng iba. Yung experience ko po with 3 or 4 referred clients that I had with BayaniPay, they were just superiorly wonderful customer service. That's one thing talaga na hopefully wala naman lahat ng problema, pero just in case, there's a customer service people that would help you instantly at 24/7 din sila open. We did it at 2 o'clock in the morning, LA time, as well as the other one is 5 a.m. May sumasagot.
Yeah, no, we really focused on that. And obviously that's Cindy T's team and folks from Manila and Cebu. So shout out to them. Thank you guys for getting that service.
Yeah,
Pero that's our mission, di ba? Kasi we are promoting digital in terms of what you use the product. And when there are issues, siyempre kailangan yung personal touch naman should be excellent, right, to complement the digital. And like I said, we are also have the advantage na Filipino lang siniserve namin. So, we know precisely the need. And obviously, if you wanna get help in Tagalog or Bisaya, we're there for you.
I was gonna say that. And it's really the local language which they use, which is nice. Kasi especially for, let's face it, majority naman kasi ng nagpapadala are the migrants na talagang nasa age, at sometimes our aunties and uncles are the ones sending, and sila yung nahihirapan talaga, and some of them, they're really not savvy when it comes to technology. Ang maganda kasi they're in language, which is nice. I mean, whatever language, whether English or Tagalog, and they're there to help you. That's one. Secondly, now I have a question here. It was just texted. How do you sign up if you are a business customer? Would that have
So for now, you call our customer support.
Right. Kasi wala sa website niya. Pumunta siya wala sa website. Sabi niya, Josh, wala sa website ng business. Sabi ko, I'll ask. Oh, yan na. You have to call that customer service and they'll walk you through.
Yeah, they'll walk you through. Kasi business is a little bit more complicated than individuals. You have to record your who you're sending and where you're coming from. Tsaka yun nga, because the limits of the business is very, very different, right? 2,000 is not enough. If you're importing, that's not enough. So we have to set you up with the BSA documents so that the Bank Secrecy Act in the United States na document. It's one-time documentation that we have to walk with you. And then we also have other things for a business payer. Kasi if you're a business, you want to keep track kung sino yung binayaran mo, dumating na ba yung pera, all of that. So there's additional software actually that we provide for you, yung dashboard, to manage your payments. So just call support for now, and then we'll set you up.
Okay, so that question was intelligently answered and succinctly answered. So wala po, kasi naghahanap tong ating question person na hindi raw niya mahanap ngayon, nagtingin siya sa website. So that's a question na you need to call the customer service hotline nila, which is 24/7, to set up a business account. And with the business account, wala siyang limit, provided na meron kang documentation. Likewise also with a personal account. Am I correct na as long as you could justify, like most, especially Filipinos abroad now, are buying condos to the yin-yang, and of course, minsan yung initial payment mo is higher than 2,000. With the proper documentation, I would assume it's the purchase order, yung parang contract mo to purchase, at nakalagay naman yung statement of account doon on how much your first initial payment. With that should satisfy the sending of the limit itself, right? Para mawala yung limit.
Yes, and in fact, parang i-advance announcement ko na lang in your show here. We're actually opening up what's called C2B payments, yung consumer to business payments. And that's doon nahuhulog yung payments to condos, di ba? And there's two features there. Unang-una, you need a higher amount of limit because sometimes it's more than $2,000, number one. Number two, we're also encouraging now recurring payments. Yung parang wala nang post-dated checks.
Yeah, yung monthly payment, yes.
So allow people to do automatic debit na from the US. And meron lang konting forms in the beginning, to authorize us to do monthly payments. Pero we can now do the parang automatic debit isipin mo from your Chase bank account in the US all the way to the Philippines, hindi mo na problemahin yun on a month-to-month basis. So we're partnering with the largest condo property builders and automating that na number one, wala nang limit. Number two, automatic na yung pagbayad. Number three, marireconcile mo yung kung nabayaran na ba. Some of our kababayans, sometimes hindi nila alam, hindi pala dumarating yung bayad nila at na-foreclose na lang yung mga properties, di ba? So we're trying to help prevent that with these new products that we're releasing soon for customers.
Now, Winston, would you be able to release that on the website on which of this developer you are partnering with? Because there's so many now. There's Century, there's Mega World, there's Ayala Land, there's Robinsons, there's Shangri-La. I mean, it would be nice kung malaman namin eventually, since I know you just announced it just now in this show, that if you have a list, so at least I think that will be another a good thing for our Filipinos to know, Filipinos migrants to know, kasi ang dami talagang bumibili ngayon with different developers. And that will solve a problem. Kasi yan din naging problema ko personally when I purchased some properties with Mega World and Ayala Land. Talagang umiinom talaga.
Well, you know, so the obvious ones, because they're part of our partner family, is SMDC. So for sure, if you have an SMDC property, you know, call us. We know how to help you there automatically. And then Artalan. And then meron tayong i-announce shortly na isa siyang aggregator with about 27, 28 developers already done. So we should be able to cover everybody soon once we announce it. Pero yun lang, those are the three things you can expect. Sorry, I'm saying it ahead of time. Galit sa akin yung aking marketing na-leak yung kanilang product, but you know, I'm taking advantage while we're talking. No? So the three benefits again, mataas yung limit, automatic payments, and very clean reconciliation with the developers para you know, to simplify that process.
And let's clear it also. Like if you're sending money from dollars, you are assured na yung conversion, yung forex rate, exchange rate is what the receiver will get, right? Kasi ang akala ng mga tao, it is based on when they receive the money. Hindi, di ba? In your case, kunyari 1,000, ang exchange rate kunyari is 55, so that's 5,500. Yun na marireceive ng tao. No more, no less. Am I right?
Yeah. That's it. Kaya nga importante yan for property payments eh. Kasi fix yung hinihingi nila in pesos, di ba? E nagbabago yung forex. So we actually calculate that automatically for you every month. And we simplify that. Mahirap gawin yun sa post-dated checks. So we're hopefully we can replace that solution.
And it would be also nice kasi after, for example, your contract is 3 or 5 years, especially with some developers right now. And then on once you're done with your contract, there's a balloon payment, and that's really like a couple of millions there. So if that would be like, if you purchase that and you have that balloon payment, you could take advantage of the exchange rate. Diba? I think earlier this year, diba? Pumalo pa ng 59 yata to $1.
Yeah.
Diba? That was kami namin pinush namin talaga as much parang to take advantage of the exchange rate.
Yeah, that's right. So yun, that's coming up. And Josh, I apologize. I have 5 minutes to go kasi I have a meeting pala. Medyo late tayo nag-start.
We're almost done naman eh.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Okay, now ang next question ko lang is itong mga new things ba, will anything that would be coming up soon will be part of your website? Kasi I think the best way talaga is to look at the website. The website is updated eh.
Yeah, please come back often to our website. If you're already a BayaniPay customers, obviously we'll announce it to you na may mga bago kaming features and promos and sometimes gift cards. But they're all gonna be in our website for sure, and also our Facebook page at BayaniPay. Meron din dun na minsan kasi meron kaming mga campaigns like shopping sprees at Seafood City na if you open a bank account na kapag shopping ka or any of that. So there's always something, no? Kasi, alam mo naman tayo mga Pilipino, we like the pakodok part. So there's always something.
Well, before I let you go, because I think, can we show that? Because it is being advertised right now, and I don't know, because on your website, it has a limit of December 31, 2022. Is it extended? Because for your initial transfer or remittance, you get a $50 gift certificate through Seafood City. Is that extended? Because
It
on
is
the website,
extended. Yeah,
okay.
popular demand. Kasi,
Okay, so for everybody to know, because you guys have been asking me that, the $50 for Seafood City, ayan, nakapost na, nasa ano po, you could avail of that $50 for your initial first ever transfer or remittance to the Philippines. 100 and above, you get a $50 gift certificate that you could use right away, instantaneously to Seafood City, and that's been extended. So if you look at the website, meron pong limit na 2022. Like you just heard from the founder and CEO, it has been extended.
yeah, especially if you use Josh's code. So, Josh, maybe we can share that. So, unang-una, pag kliyente ka ni Josh, priority ka namin. So, make sure this is
Ayan
our
po,
way
oh,
to know.
pinag-flash na. You just use a code, Josh21. Oh, yan.
Yeah.
JUSH21. If you use that code, then automatic meron ka na. Whether you use the code or not, it really doesn't matter. You get the $50 gift certificate from Seafood City. It's like a credit card, which is nice.
Yeah.
Well, with that, ang dami nating natutunan with BayaniPay, and I'm so glad that some of the questions were cleared. And that firstly, to summarize, it is not a bank, but it's a neobank. But any bank, any services of the bank that you do, it's coursed through East West Bank, which is one of your partners. At the same time, you could look also at their website, because they have a lot of organizational partners that they do a lot of things for them, like Gawad Kalinga, and then the FastG. There's so many of those organizations, which is really dear to most of our Filipino Americans' heart. And thirdly, again, zero fees, which is so unbelievable. And now we know how they are able to do that. So you could look at the other remittances company, but this I could give you my vote, and as well as my voice, that BayaniPay is the one to reckon with at this point in time, because of the services they provide, and of course the partners that they have. You cannot go wrong with Asian Journal. You cannot go wrong with Seafood City. You cannot go wrong with BDO, as well as their other partner, which is East West Bank, and of course with Winston, who is the, sabi nga nila, serial entrepreneur, and this is his number 9 startup. And like what he said, it's just amazing, and we're so proud of what you have accomplished so far, Winston, and thank you for doing that service to the Filipino American, or the migrants, or the OFW, because they are truly the Bayanis and the heroes of our generation.
And very much appreciate to be part of your days today. Josh, thank you for the invitation. I had a lot of fun talking about BayaniPay. Abangan mo pa, we have a lot more in store.
And please let us know if you have any updates or anything that's being launched in simultaneous with BayaniPay. Our station and this show is definitely open for you guys, because we are in the service of the Filipino people as well, and we like supporting businesses like yours that's really for Filipinos and by Filipinos.
Great. Thank you. Maraming salamat. Thank you for everyone in the US. Good evening there. And for folks in the Philippines, magandang hapon, mayong udto. Again, maraming salamat for supporting BayaniPay. And we look forward to continuously serving our mga kababayan.
And thank you so much for your time. I know you're always busy, and you made it a point to be with our audience and our viewers and listeners. So before we close the show, again, maraming salamat, Winston Damarillo, and again, BayaniPay po. And like what I do with every time that I close the show, be kind. You can never go wrong with kindness. And any act of kindness that you do to people, it's guaranteed it will come back to you in so many ways, in different times and different forms. So with that, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Happy viewing for our yung mga team replay po natin who will be watching this. And share this show. And because BayaniPay has so much information that intindihan natin what BayaniPay is all about, the vision of the CEO and founder, and also the other features, the beautiful things that, like what I said, zero fees. You cannot go wrong with that. Anyway, with that, have a nice weekend and enjoy Manila, and hopefully to see you when you get back here in the States. And maligayang panonood po, at see you tomorrow for Dear Kuya Josh at another letter po natin ang tatalakayin natin tomorrow. And I wish you well, and if I don't see you, to everybody, you have a wonderful weekend, whatever is left of it, and you have a wonderful week next week. And enjoy and take care, and God bless us all. Bye-bye po. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye, Winston.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Just like a friend from back home. This is your Filipino radio experience in Las Vegas. PHLV Radio.